Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Introduction to Exactix for Members. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. We've taken a screenshot of an example of the attendee interface, and you should see something that looks like this on your own computer desktop in the upper right corner. You're listening using your computer speaker system by default, and if you would prefer to join over the telephone, just select phone call in the audio pane and the dial-in information will be displayed. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions to today's presenter by typing your questions into the questions pane of your control panel. You may send those written questions in at any time during the presentation. We will collect these and address them during the Q&A session at the end of today's presentation. At the end of the presentation, you may also raise your hand on the control panel if you'd like to ask an audio question. The session organizer will announce your name and let you know that you've been unmuted to ask your question. I would now like to introduce our session moderator, Chris McMurray. Chris?
Thank you, Kat. I'm Chris McMurray from MGH. We are the marketing agency of record for Underground Safety Alliance, Indiana 811, and Kentucky 811. We wanted to let you know that you'll receive a survey tomorrow about all of today's webinars, and we'd appreciate if you'd complete that and provide your feedback about your experience today. We will also share an email in the coming weeks that will give you access to recordings from all presentations today. We know we offered some sessions at times where there were other options. So if you want to be able to see what you missed today, that will be the best way to do that. Or if you want to watch something a second time to pick up on a piece of information. As Kat mentioned, please submit those questions during the presentation in writing, and then we'll get to those at the end. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Jill Gast. Jill Gast has worked for the Underground Safety Alliance, the parent company of Indiana 811 and Kentucky 811 for over 2 decades. Jill began her career with USA processing locate tickets and additionally worked in the member services department before starting her current role as a business analyst. Jill uses her years of damage prevention experience to supply data visualizations to 811 staff, which are used to help make operations more efficient. She has also worked on various special projects, including several system conversions, and works closely with Underground Safety Alliance's partner 4IQ, the company behind Exactix, which you are here to learn more about today. So with that, I'm going to hand things over and welcome Jill Gast. Jill? Oh, you're on mute, Jill.
Sorry about that. My name is Jill Gast. I am the business analyst for Indiana and 811 and Kentucky 811. In this session, we're going to go over what it will look like, Exactix will look like for you as a member utility. Indiana 811 and Kentucky 811 have adopted the same mission statement, which is to lead Indiana and Kentucky in promoting safety and preventing damage to underground facilities by providing excellent coordination and notification services at a reasonable cost. In this session, you're going to learn, you'll see a first-hand look at the look and the function of the user interface, the benefits for you as a member utility, when we expect to transition to Exactix, how you can help and your role in that transition, and any questions that we can answer. I'd also like to note the email address at the bottom. That is for specific questions, or if you have questions in the future or you don't want to use one of the provided methods. It's exactix@usa811.org. What does Exactix look like? Here's a quick video that will show you from a member standpoint. After logging in, we are going to go to the home screen. You can see up the top your name as it is in the system. You can change your password, sign out, change the look of and the size of the ticket text. We're going to go to the ticket dashboard. These are tickets that are within your service area. Once we click on a ticket, to the left will show you your the ticket information. On the right is going to show you the map. The blue is the dig site selected. The red represents the cross street. It is interactive, and I apologize, but that does have aerial capabilities, and I did not capture that in the video. We're going to go back to the ticket dashboard and look at the tickets on the map. Those are tickets closest to your current location. Also interactive, zoom out, zoom in. The search tool will allow you to search addresses as well as points of interest within that search field, same search field. When you hover over a dig site, it's going to give you some information about that ticket, street name, county, ticket number, expiration date are some of the fields that will be displayed. Now we are going to go into look at how the service area is set up. This is all permission based, so this user is a contact of this service area. When you click on it, you'll be able to see how it is the holidays that this member observes, the hours, where the tickets are sent, and then this is also where you would go in order to update your maps. Once we go back to the ticket dashboard, we are going to take another look at how your tickets, another format of your tickets in the list up at the top right. That is, you can customize that, so you can pull in the fields that you want from that ticket. And it is also, you can export it. Once we go back to the dashboard, we are going to eventually log out. Here are some of the benefits that I'm going to go over today in the presentation. I'll go into more detail about each one of these. One that we are excited about is single sign-on. So a user will have one login that will grant them access to all the features that they have permission to. Those are based upon the business rules from the member. So if a user needs to create and update tickets, view and update positive response, edit their map, that will all be done within one login. Also, if you are you own facilities in other states that are using Exactix, the same login will be used in each state at each 811 center. The ticket dashboard is your tickets within your service area with a couple of different filters built in. You'll notice there are service area tickets. So those are the tickets that have been created in the past 60 days that affect your service area. The response due, those are the tickets that are due within the next 48 hours. Tickets on a map, those are the mapped dig sites that are closest to your current location. All responses are tickets that have been created in the last 14 days. You'll notice here the different fields and the columns that from the ticket information. If a positive response has been entered, the current response will be listed here. We do have response due date, street, work type, company name. The text within these columns are also, you can search them. So if you wanted to look for all tickets that were on Main Street, you can do so. You can also look for any tickets that have been called by a particular company. From the screen, you will also be able to view the tickets, add your positive response, view positive response, and print the text. Positive response through the one call system. Communication between stakeholders helps improve damage prevention in Indiana and Kentucky. Positive response through the one call system helps stakeholders communicate with each other. There will be several ways that you will be able to enter your positive response. All the current codes and reasons will stay the same in Exactix. You will be able to update your responses within the system. So if you have entered that you have requested a marking delay, but have since marked your facilities, then you can go in and update the system to reflect that change. All changes are documented with the date and time. For more information, we encourage you to attend the positive response through the one call system session today. It's at 3 p.m. One thing we're very excited about, or I'm most excited about, is Exactix is mobile. It does work on your tablets and phones. For members, you will be able to view your tickets and enter positive response. Excavators will be able to view those responses and their tickets. Tickets can be created from a tablet, and we do expect tickets from a phone at a later date. Here's a quick video of what it looks like from a member through a mobile phone. You'll see once logging in, we're going to go to the ticket section. After clicking on the ticket, you'll see the ticket information. You'll see the tabs at the bottom. After clicking on the map tab, you will see the dig site. This is also an interactive map. You can view aerial. You can also enter your positive response from this screen. At first, we're going to say that the area is clear and save it. Once we go to the responses tab at the bottom, you're going to note that the area is clear, listed for Kentucky 811. To change that, we're just going to add a response, and now we're going to say that the area has been marked. Once you save that, you will notice that it has been updated within the responses tab. Now we can go in and look at the tickets near me. So those are the tickets that's nearest your current location. When you click on the dig site, it's going to give you information about that ticket, just like it does from a computer. Ticket number, expiration date, street, county. And zoom out, search, measure, all of your tools that are available from your computer. Now we're going to sign out. Exactix was built for the cloud. It's fast and reliable. Since the launch dates, Exactix has helped process close to 3 million tickets in other 811 centers. There have been no issues. In the event of a disaster, our operations will have very little downtime since it is browser-based. There's nothing to download, and it is ready to use. We are working hard and do expect to transition to Exactix by March 31st, 2021. And we don't anticipate any changes to the outgoing ticket format. We do expect to ask you to help test the system before our live date of March in 2021. We'll send out emails with information on how you can test so you can help us make sure that we have a successful launch. And to recap, Exactix is going to provide a more self-service type of membership for you. We expect to launch again by March of 2021, and we will ask that you help test before the March launch date. Now we're at the question portion. Sorry, it was quick, and I'll be happy to show any of the demos again. But if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or type in the question box again. And also remind you that the specific questions or questions at a later date, please email exactix@usa811.org.
Thank you, Jill. And as you mentioned, we're at that point for questions. And I have a decent number of written questions that came in over the last 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
And the first one was, So obviously, if you're a member, how will you be notified? Will anything about the notification process change from a member with these activities?
No. And we hope to that you will receive tickets from our current system one day, and the next day you will receive tickets from Exactix with no interruption or input from you.
Got it. And I think that probably speaks to the next one. If we are currently receiving emails with the tickets, will we have to log into Exactix to pull? So it's almost, you know, push versus pull in terms of how you get access to the information.
Correct. Yeah, it will be the same.
Okay. Slightly different question here. Is the utility able to give a note or comments back to the excavator that they can read?
I believe that is something that we are working towards. I'm not sure if that will be available day one, so I would suggest emailing that Exactix at usa811.org.
This might be tied into the earlier ones as well. Will there be an API that allows users to access new tickets? So kind of that idea of an automated way of pulling them in.
I'm not sure on that as well. I know that has been discussed, but I don't know if that will be available when we cut.
And those will be really good questions probably to send it to the email address, because you'd be able to track those over time, flag them, get back to people, maybe
Correct.
when new information develops between now and launch.
Right.
Are excavators able to pick a later start date time for scheduling, or will all new tickets default to the 2 full working days?
I believe you can select a later date now, maybe not through 811 now. You can select, or you will be able to select a later date, but you will not be able to select an earlier date if it is normal notice.
Okay. Can a company that currently has only one area break it into separate areas? Because then each locator gets a different area and they don't need to see everything for the whole company. So within Exactix, I guess zoning areas within a company.
Yes, we can currently do that. So if that's something that you are interested in, if you want to give shoot an email to Exactix at us811.org, and we'll get that to member services. But yeah, you can select, or your service area can be broken up into however many different codes you want.
Next up, will Exactix say anything about white lined areas or show where white lined areas are? So I think taking what maybe someone did physically on the ground compared to the ticket itself.
The actual system at this point does not, but there will be the ability, or you will have the option to add attachments. So you can take a picture and add that attachment to send to the locator or the member utility so they can see.
Next up, can we draw in the area we want located and then have it auto-populate the address? That sounds like it's probably coming more from an excavator standpoint, but I wanted to throw that one out too.
Yeah, not currently. I know that's something else that we've talked about, but if that might also want to be sent into the Exactix at usa811.org.
And this is helpful, I think, for for even these questions with specificity, because you can, as I said, track these. It's kind of a good opportunity to hear what's on people's minds. Can we draw in the? I already had that one there. Sorry. As a municipality, you view all tickets within your city that excavators input, or just the tickets you input. And I'm not sure if it's being asked from an excavator standpoint or a receipt as a member, but kind of maybe what information do people have access to as a municipality?
Yes, that sounds like to me that's from an excavator standpoint. So you will be able to see tickets that other people have entered from your company if you are set up that way.
I'm rereading it now, and it says, as a municipality, can you view all tickets within your city that excavators? I think excavators have input. So, for instance, if you're a member within a municipality and you're maybe curious how much activity is happening in your jurisdiction.
Yes. I mean, you will be able to view from that portal that I just showed, you'll be able to see all of the tickets that are within your service area for the past 60 days. And then you can also search. We currently have that ability to look at your tickets through a web portal, but you cannot search within the text within those columns. So with Exactix, you will be able to. So if you wanted to look for tickets that your city has received, that your city has called, you can even search by that too.
This one might actually be good for the next session, but I'll read it out anyway. Will there be updated URLs for web service and upload positive response process? And if so, will members be receiving that information and when?
I don't believe so, but if there are any changes, we will get that information out to our membership with plenty of time for you to make those changes. That might be another question for Exactix at usa811.org.
And then this question is, we use a ticket management program, Core Web. How does Exactix work with ticket management programs of that sort?
It should work exactly the same. I mean, with us not changing the ticket format, it should work exactly the way it does with Earth.
Let's see.
But we will also have the ability to test beforehand, so we can. I'm sure we will with Core Web users.
How long will tickets be available to see if you need them for reference at a later date, from a member standpoint?
It looks like from a member standpoint, 60 days within the web portal, but of course we'll have the ability to pull that information for you for as long as that we have to keep records, 7 years.
Will this be what members will use to create locate tickets online? So I guess maybe that's a good question about, I know right now simultaneously we have a session happening that's from the excavator standpoint. So if you are a member and you need to create a locate ticket for your own excavation purposes, what will the different pathways be in that platform?
So it will look the exact same. You'll just have a different permission than what I had during the demo. In the ticket, when you clicked on the tickets from the menu, there will be a new button up on the top right where you can create at that point. So from your one login, you can do anything that you have permission to do.
Okay. Next up, what does Exactix do when an emergency locate is put in? Is there anything specific about emergencies within this new platform for a member?
Well, it'll work the same from a member standpoint. I mean, you will receive the emergency ticket with, it'll be sent to you in a quicker manner, but it'll look the exact same. It'll just be classified as an emergency. So from a member standpoint, nothing really should change.
This might relate to a question earlier about division within a company. We have multiple municipal utilities, so it's a municipality with different utility services. Can we divide the tickets while closing, I guess, showing water versus wastewater?
Yes. So if you have just one service area where you basically only receive one ticket per one ticket, you will have the ability, like you do now with positive response, to respond per the code, so for everyone, or you can respond by utility type. So somebody that deals with electric can respond, and it can differ from whatever your code would be for water.
Can a member attach photos to a ticket after they've marked the area? So maybe would that be more of a positive response based question?
Yes, that would be a positive response, and I would encourage you to go to the next session at 3 p.m. There should be more information in that session.
Gotcha. I think the next question is pretty much the same thing. Do tickets currently come from an earth.com email? If so, what will the name be of the sending notices so we can ensure firewalls allow them? And that might be that's a pretty detailed question for right now, so I don't know if that might be worth readdressing.
No, I mean, the tickets that a member receives should be coming from an internal Indiana or Kentucky 811 address. It shouldn't have anything to do with Earth, so that shouldn't matter.
Being able to update maps, can I upload shape files of lines, or is it just service territory?
Lines, you can currently do that as well.
Okay. How will utility boundary maps be transferred and updated going forward?
Exactix has already received our data, so the utilities service areas are already in there. It works a lot like what we currently have now, where you just upload a shapefile. It will replace, we may have the ability to just add, but I'm not sure about that, but you will upload shapefiles to your service area. And then you would be able to view it before it's being released. But it basically works the way it does now.
Okay, and then will there be training for members on how to create tickets? Kind of maybe what are some of the more detailed training plans ahead?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure on that. That might be a question for Exactix at usa811.org. I don't do a lot of the training with web users or members. So, but yes, I mean, we'll absolutely get a ton of information to you prior to launch for you to test on a member side and an excavator side.
Okay, looks like that's everything I have at the moment, but we did get a lot of questions, so I think we might want to pause here for a second to see if anything else comes in. Here we go.
Yeah.
We currently upload our map files monthly. Will the new system allow for that? Will the member ID codes stay the same?
Yes, and yes. You can upload as many times as you want, and the IDs will stay the same.
Give it about another. I know dead air is not exactly the most exciting thing for everyone out there right now, but given the way this platform works, it's the best way to make sure that we don't miss anything, because the questions are important for these Exactix sessions, especially today.
Yes.
All right. Yep, great info. Okay, how often should we upload? How often should we upload changes from a mapping standpoint?
Anytime you make a change, I would suggest. So I mean, we don't really recommend it, but you could upload several times a day. But yeah, I would suggest that you upload anytime you do make changes, because that's what's used when we, take a ticket in that area. So make sure you receive the ticket.
Okay. If ticket format isn't changing, how will the new attachment features be viewed on the ticket?
I'm pretty sure that is going to be some kind of a link that's you will have to click on to go look. That's another technical question that might go to Exactix, but I'm pretty sure there will be a link involved.
All right, I may have missed the answer, but can members create emergency locates on this program? So can members create an excavator, I guess, acting as excavators, put in an emergency locate for their own excavation needs?
So we do have that ability. That's more of a policy, and also for the law in Indiana states that you have to give oral notice. So that can't be done on the web. Kentucky, it does not state that in the law, but that's more of a policy change that would need to go to, probably the board. And but I mean, there is the capability to do that.
Okay. And as we wait for any additional questions, as Jill mentioned, I think the natural transition from this session for a lot of you might be the next one at 3 o'clock regarding positive response through the one-call system. Because I think there were a few questions that did talk about being able to effectively use this new platform as a communication hub between stakeholder groups. So we'd encourage you to make it to that and ask a few more of those types of questions there. We have some other good sessions at 3 as well. CGA presenting, and then also InSafe, which is an Indiana agency that provides safety consultation. And trivia at 4 o'clock. You definitely want to come. It's not a damage prevention event without a chance to win a prize. So, well, I killed about 20 seconds there. I thought we might get a question during it, but we obviously got about 30 questions already. So that's it's pretty. Oh, here we go. Since we use an external ticket management program, when will we get information for them to address compatibility issues?
I'm not sure when that information will go out, but the way that we have, or the plan is that there will not be any compatibility issues. Is the way that the ticket will be sent out is the way that it's sent out today. So, of course, we will test. We'll send out all that, information with plenty of time for us to work out any kinks if there are any. But the plan is to have a seamless transition for our members as possible.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not quite as fun as in French Lick for those of you who've been there, and we're in the ballroom for questions, and we're tossing the foam, the foam microphone around everyone, sitting here and waiting for people to type. But we're getting a lot of participation this way. So let's see. Let me give this about. Here we go. Go live is March of 2021. Will all maps transfer over right away for notification?
Yes. I'm not sure. There will be probably some kind of a cutoff date maybe where you can't update your maps, or you have to maybe update in both systems. I'm not sure how that will work, but technically now within Exactix, they already have our members' service areas and the way that they're set up. So the data has been there. It's they will update closer to the time of cutover, but I'm not sure how it will work closer to that date. But they have been already moved over to Exactix, and they will be moved over again closer to the date to make sure the updates are in.
And we are interested in some live questions if anyone has one. If you'd rather just talk instead of typing, done enough typing today. But do we have one really good one here, which is I can take this one, Jill. When will recorded videos of sessions be made available? So most likely within about a week or so. We need time to pull those down, post those online, and then package them and send them out to everyone. So the most urgent thing is you will get the link tomorrow for the survey that we'll be sending around, and we would like to get your feedback on that. But if you've attended sessions today, which obviously if you've asked a question here, you did, you will be on our email list to notify you that the recordings are available for you to access. Oh, we have an audio question. All right. All right. So, Greg Harbor. Where'd you go, Greg? Okay. Unmute you. Oh, you're there. Hello.
Okay. I just want to know, when can Alexa check my tickets for me?
Soon. Hi, Greg.
Hi.
It's kind of fun to hear another voice. Thanks for doing that.
Well,
Yes.
I was driving. I couldn't type my question. You can mute me back now.
All right, thanks so much. We do have another text question here, which is, can members update contact phone numbers in Exactix, contact maps for damage prevention staff as well?
Yes, they can update. It's depending on your permissions. You will be able to update the contact information for your particular service area. Yeah, we're trying to get to a more self-service membership, style membership. So that will be a feature available.
Gotcha. And the person who asked actually has his hand raised, Rick Smith. So I might unmute you, and if you wanted to add any context to that. He may be self-muted. Hi, Rick. Rick, you're unmuted. Maybe we answered his question in full. Let's see. Can members add custom messages on tickets? So a note from a certain utility. So can utilities kind of put something custom on what goes back out to the excavators within the platform?
I'm sorry, what did you say? What was the question?
Can members add custom messages on tickets? A note, like for instance, a note from the utility type message.
So for positive response, there is a comment section, or is this on the excavator side? There's also a remarks section. So yes, I mean, you can make specific, comments on either positive response or through the ticket when you're requesting for the locate.
Okay. Probably hold here for another minute to see if we get any others, and then we'll wrap up and maybe see some of these folks over at the positive response session or wherever else they may want to go next. All right. I think at that point, then we will go ahead and call that the end of the session. So thank you, Jill. Thanks everyone for attending today. If you have any other questions, obviously please send those in to exactix@usa811.org. And thank you for joining us. We'll hope to see you in another session. Make sure you're registered for those before you arrive, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.